everyone. Welcome back to your practice. I'm Liv, and today I'm going to be taking you through a sequence for menstrual cramps. So when you're struggling with your time of the month, when you're feeling tender, when you just kind of want to roll up in a ball, we're going to be doing some stretches to really help us softly open up this area, help us bring some kind of light contraction and squeezing to help it feel better, to get some energy, some oxygen into it, and just to open up and stretch the lower back, hip area, everything, just to help us feel a bit better. So would love for you if you have a block, but we're going to be practicing today with a pillow. So whether you have a bed pillow or a couch cushion, anything to help us give us some height. So invitation to have that for your practice. And when you're ready, we're going to begin on our backs. So making sure that that pillow or that block is available to us, bringing the soles of the feet to the mat, shifting the hips a little bit closer to the mat, and just lowering down. So our back is on the mat, shoulder blades rolling down. We'll bring this pillow or this block, I like to fold it in half. And we're gonna press into our feet to lift our hips up. Stick this pillow or block underneath. I like to bring it a little bit closer towards the bottom of the glutes, lowering those hips down. And maybe you want to explore with having multiple pillows or multiple blocks, whatever setting you want. Then turning your palms up towards the ceiling, feeling into this light kind of inversion of the spine and lifting of the hips. Now you're welcome here to play with keeping the soles of the feet on the ground, maybe knocking the knees in together. Perhaps you'd like to play with straightening one leg, feeling into the front of the hips. Maybe you'd like to play with straightening both if that feels good without crunching the lower back or feeling a lot of pain there. Or an invitation to bring the soles of the feet together, widening the knees for a reclined butterfly. This is the position I'm going to pick today. And we're just going to take about a minute here. Already you may be feeling some discomfort as we're opening up this area that tends to be really tender and maybe more defensive, more kind of contracting during this time of month. So can we have some deep belly breaths into this area? Wherever you are, in through the nose, out through the nose, trying to lengthen that exhale. If you are in this butterfly position with your knees further apart, you can bring your hands to the outer thighs to lift those knees back in. If your legs were straightened, bending those feet back in. And then we'll just lift our hips up, shift that pillow or that block over to the side. We'll use it later in the practice. And then from here, we're gonna find our way into tabletop. So two ways you can do this. You can bring your knees into your chest, grabbing the backs of your thighs and start to rock and roll up and down the spine to come up to a seat. Or you can shift your hips over to the right, turn over to the left, press into your right hand into the ground to lift your chest up, and then turn your hips up towards the sky, knees down, finding this tabletop position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We'll inhale to drop the chest down to the front of the room, lifting the gaze, arching the back for our cow position. And then we exhale, press into the hands, broaden the shoulder blades, tuck the chin into the chest, arch the back, cat position. So inhale to drop the belly, heart towards the front of the room, shoulder blades together and down the back. Exhale, pressing firmly into the hands, reaching the belly button towards the ceiling. A few rounds on your own, feeling into the spine, into the hips. Only going as big or as fast as you want to make this motion. Really, it's just about waking up the body, giving some self-care to those tender parts of ourselves. And on your next exhale, coming back to a neutral tabletop position so your spine is long. We'll walk our hand forward a little bit. So hands reaching forward past the shoulders, tucking those toes, lifting those hips up and back, lifting those knees, downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pressing firmly into the fingertips. Reaching those shoulders back, your chest towards your thighs. And we'll lift our right leg up to the sky. We'll bend into that knee, make that right knee reach up towards the ceiling, heel reaching towards the glutes. So opening this hip out to the right. And imagine drawing that right shoulder blade back down. So we're only twisting in the lower body. Knee reaching up to the ceiling. Try to bring that heel back towards the glute. One more round of breath here. Exhaling that knee back down towards the mat, straightening that leg, dropping that foot. And we'll do that on the other side. So lifting that left foot up to the sky, bending that knee, turning that knee over to the left up to the ceiling, opening up that hip, right heel or left heel reaching towards the glutes, and pressing that chest towards the thighs, right heel reaching down to the mat. Breathing here. Opening that left hip, and then bringing that knee back down, straightening that leg. We'll bend into those knees, coming into this table, and then we're going to shift our weight forward, coming onto our bellies, maybe coming to your forearms to come into a Sphinx pose. So hips are down on the mat, legs are long, tops of the toes and the feet reaching down on the mat. Elbows are underneath the shoulders, or maybe they're a little bit in front of the shoulders or wider. Palms are down on the mat. And we're pressing down with our elbows and our hands, and then dragging back towards our hips to shrug those shoulders down, heart reaching forward. And we're pressing firmly into the tops of the hip points, into the tops of the feet, thinking about kind of softening that lumbar curve, flattening the lower back, so we're not kind of feeling janky and crunchy in here. Really, this is just about bringing a little bit of extension in the front body and through the front of the lower belly area. Maybe you'd like to play with turning your hips and your legs out a little bit. Maybe that creates more space in the lower belly and in the lower back. 2 more breaths here. Really pressing into the tops of the feet wherever you are. And then we'll widen those elbows to come down onto the belly, making sure that our heels, our knees, our legs are in line with the hips, are reaching down towards the mat, tops of the feet on the mat. We're going to bring our hands to either side of the chest, elbows reaching in together, shoulder blades pinching in together. Head is down on the mat. As we inhale, we'll just peel the upper body off the mat, just using the upper back, pressing firmly into those hip points. Then we'll exhale to lower back down. So these mini cobras, 2 more. Inhale to roll that chest up, keeping the chin tucked slightly, elbows reaching in together. Exhale to lower down. 1 more time. Inhale to lift up. You're not pressing into the hands, you're just using them as a support. Upper body working only here. Exhaling to lower back down. Tucking those back toes, firming that belly button up and in. We'll press into the hands and the knees to lift those hips up into a table position. And then we're going to sit back into our child's pose. So we're going to keep a smaller child's pose here. So walking the hands back under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're going to bring the hips together, if you'd like, toes together. We're going to sit the hips onto the heels, and then we'll grab that pillow. We'll fold it once more. And then having the folded edges, reaching them in towards the hips, we'll then roll and drape that upper body over that pillow, dropping the hands and the arms alongside us, palms reaching up and palms reaching back towards your feet, and then just draping that upper body, that chest, lowering that head towards the mat. And if this feels a little bit uncomfortable to you, you can always widen those knees out. You can always leave that prop out and just find a regular wide-legged forward child's pose. So widening those knees, arms reaching up and out towards the top of the mat. Or again, maybe bringing that smaller child's pose, knees in, hands reaching back. Wherever you are, just a few breaths here, seeing if you can release a little bit more, softening it in that lower back. And then wherever you are, bringing your hands in towards the head and the chest, palm facing down. We'll lift that chest up, pressing into the hands, removing any props. And we'll just shift up towards the middle of the mat, hips coming down, swinging the legs out to find a wide-legged position. So a little bit of a straddle, just as wide as you'd like this to be. It's not about how open we can make this. It's just about creating a little bit of space here. So then bending that left foot in towards you, sole of the foot on the inner right thigh. We'll inhale to lift that left hand up to the ceiling. And then we'll give a side body stretch, reaching over towards the right. Really focusing here on drawing that left shoulder blade back. So instead of reaching forward, we want to make sure our chest is still broad. Grounding down into both of our hip points. I like to really think about pressing my left knee into the mat, my right heel into the mat. Breathing into that left side body. And then we'll turn our chest down towards the right leg, and then reaching that left hand maybe to the outer right leg or towards the inside, just finding this forward fold, head to knee. Now we're not really focused on reaching out far, we're just focused on rounding the back here. Feeling into the back of our lower left side. And then bringing your hands maybe onto the mat or onto the leg, and then pressing into the hands to slowly lift the chest back up. We'll switch the cross of the leg, so left leg straighten, right foot in towards the hips. Inhaling that right hand up towards the sky and then over to the left. Drawing that shoulder blade back, maybe bringing the palm of the hand back towards your back body. Maybe resting your left elbow down, reaching it out wherever you want to be here. Really think about breathing into that right side body, broadening the chest a little bit more. And then turning the chest down towards the left. We're bringing that head to your knee, maybe bringing that right hand to the outer left leg or in towards the mat. Really letting that head be heavy, lengthening the back of the neck. Pressing your hands into the mat to lift the chest up slowly. Bending into both knees, bringing the soles of the feet down onto the mat, a little bit wider than hip width distance. Maybe bringing your hands behind you. We'll just find some windshield wipers to close out this practice. So dropping the knees over to the left, letting the soles of the feet lift off from the ground. And then switching over to the other side, knees to the right. Hips will lift up a little bit here as well. So just swiping them left and right a few times. If you need to pause anywhere, invitation to do that as well. And then when you're ready, soles of the feet to the mat, knees up. We'll just cross the legs, coming into this crisscross position. And this is how I'll leave you today. I hope you found this practice a bit expansive and nurturing to the belly, to the hips, to the lower back, And as always, you're welcome to come back to this practice whenever you need it. Wishing you so much love, support, and care. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.